Our next speaker is our valedictorian, Bryce Springfield.
Good morning, class of 2021, and to your families and friends you have brought today. Before I begin my speech, I would like to give a special thank you to Mr. Bois and Mr. Lynch, among many other wonderful teachers and staff members whose help and engagement in enlightening discussions I could not have gotten here without. I thank my friends whose camaraderie has allowed me to enjoy my senior year despite our collective circumstances. I would also like to thank my mother, my only active family, for supporting me and for doing her best to enable my academic success through hardship and instability. I would like to dedicate my speech to some of the social and economic issues facing us. We have all traversed new territory over the past year as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. We've had to adapt to a new normal, a new standard for how we interact and mobilize, and a new learning environment. But many of us have faced various afflictions, financially, materially, and socially, as a result of the pandemic and the unforeseen impact the coronavirus and our country's relatively weak social services would have on our lives. Millions of people in our country have lost their health care, employment, housing, and loved ones over the course of the pandemic. These all could have been mitigated or prevented. We continue to face issues our society has decided to never solve. Last summer, we saw the police brutality and systemic racism that has always plagued our country placed in the spotlight as hundreds participated in demonstrations in St. Pete. We continue to fail to address houselessness as Pinellas and St. Pete price people out through gentrification and abstain from providing affordable housing. A black working class district being destroyed to build this stadium is perhaps a good example. As someone who was houseless for most of my freshman year, I understand firsthand what these trends mean to people. I recognize these are real people being affected, not simply numbers on a spreadsheet. I recognize how many people in our community have felt left behind by our political and economic system, and how many have had family members targeted by our criminal justice system. I'm standing here by mere chance of having supportive friends, teachers, and community members, but I know many do not have the same opportunities that I've benefited from. Many of us are told who we are expected to be based on our social class, our parents' status, our disabilities, or the color of our skin. Many of us are limited from reaching our full potential out of these injustices. It is for this reason we must always question everything. We need to aim toward being active participants in our communities and in shaping how our system operates so that we can prevent these shortcomings from continuing in the future. Complacency and moderation are not options when we face such deep-rooted problems. No matter what all you wonderful people do from now on, these things will always affect you and your fellow community members. I encourage the class of 2021 to be leaders and to be involved in the issues you care about. As said by Martin Luther King during the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, human progress is neither automatic nor inevitable. Every step toward the goal of justice requires the tireless exertions and passionate concern of dedicated individuals. I believe our class has great potential to beget meaningful change in our society, and I'm confident that is exactly what will happen. Thank you to Pinellas County Schools and our principal, Mr. Vigu, for organizing this event, and I hope all of you enjoy our graduation ceremony.